Every morning, you wake up and try to build a solid foundation. You block out your calendar to assert control over your minutes. You buy a specific mattress to optimize your sleep cycles, and you download apps to manage your mental state. You do this because you believe that if you execute the perfect routine, you will reach a plateau of permanent safety. You assume that eventually, the ground beneath your feet will stop shaking. Then, a sudden phone call shatters your week. A macroeconomic shift makes your industry unstable, or a strange medical test arises out of nowhere. Modern culture tells you this feeling of imbalance is a personal failure. It promises that lifelong stability is the baseline of a successful human, and if your life feels unstable, you must be doing something wrong. You must need another life hack. But an ancient civilization already diagnosed this psychological trap. They looked at this same chaos and realized that the floor is supposed to be slippery. To see their solution, you have to look past the pop culture image of the Aztecs as a mindless imperial machine. Beneath the stone architecture of Tenochtitlan, an intellectual awakening was taking place. A massive philosophical tradition was unfolding that remains almost entirely ignored by the modern world. The philosophers of Mesoamerica, the tlamatinime, were obsessed with the problem of human instability. When they looked at the universe, they did not see a static, peaceful creation. They saw a cosmos governed by Teot, a restless, vibrating force of generation and destruction. It was motion itself. The Nahua observed a world in constant flux. Their philosophical framework parallels the way we now visualize the most basic elements of our reality, not as solid blocks, but as restless energy. Because reality is made of motion, seeking permanent stability is a cognitive error. Trying to find a permanent state of peace is like trying to nail a shadow to a wall. The Nahua called the earthly realm tlalticpac. Literally, it means on the earth, but idiomatically, it describes the human condition as the place where one's footing is slick. This perspective was embodied by Nezahualcoyotl, a philosopher king who watched his father get assassinated and was forced into a wilderness exile. His life as a hunted fugitive granted him clarity about the fragility of power and the fleeting nature of peace. In his poetry, he questions what is worth holding on to. He wrote that even the hardest jade, like the stone in this carving, eventually shatters. He observed that even the purest gold, shown in these ornate earrings, is eventually crushed. Even the most beautiful quetzal plumes are eventually torn apart by the wind. You suffer not because the world is chaotic, but because you expect it to be stable. You are walking on a massive sheet of ice, frustrated that you cannot run a perfect sprint. In ancient Greece and India, philosophers often suggested surviving chaos by building an internal fortress, or detaching from the physical world entirely. The Nahua disagreed. They believed the earth, despite being slippery, was a site of intoxicating beauty. They did not want you to become a stone. They wanted you to learn how to walk beautifully across the ice. Analyzing texts like the Florentine Codex reveals the Nahua engineered a proactive framework for survival. They pursued tlamatinime, often translated as truth, deriving from a root meaning to take root. Truth is the active physical process of anchoring yourself. Remaining upright on this surface requires nepantla, the dynamic art of staying in the middle. If you lean too far forward into the future, you lose your footing. If you lean too far backward into the past, you fall. You stay upright by keeping your center of gravity aligned with the exact present moment. You achieve this balance through active participation, through duty, community, and the creation of flower and song, poetry, painting, and art. These are the tools for anchoring yourself. Think about the things causing you anxiety today. Your career progression, your bank account, your 5-year plan. All of this panic is generated by the false promise of stability. When your week falls apart, it is not a flaw in your character. It is the baseline nature of the cosmos. Shifting social dynamics and unexpected expenses are not obstacles blocking your path. They are the path. Stop asking how to permanently fix your life. Ask instead how to walk gracefully through this current moment. Root yourself in your character and the way you treat people today. A moment of wonder. You were never meant to be a static object in a museum of safety. You are a dynamic being, woven from the same restless energy that drives the stars. You do not need the ground to be stable. You only need to remember how to walk.